Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So Bitcoin has fallen a little more and is now sitting at 45,200. Can we hold the $45,000 mark? This is going to be the critical question here. So I'm just here on the hourly chart for Bitcoin, and we can see that we've just had this massive hourly candle just appear, dropping us all the way down to a low of 44,952. So it did drop below the $50,000 mark for a brief second and has gone back up. The last time that happened was the day after the crash. So we can see this crash ticked all the way down to 42. We really need to hold this $50,000 mark, otherwise it looks like we're headed down to the 43,628 mark. If I just move me out the way, we'll be heading down to this yellow line here, which is our next level of support at 43,628. So you can see this crashed, made us, that we had the first initial crash here. It immediately broke our EMA ribbon on the hourly chart, and this EMA ribbon has been acting as resistance, and we've not been able to break above it. We almost thought we did here, and then just on the last ribbon there, we've just come back down. So that's not looking too great. However, if we start coming out of the hourly, we go into the 4 hourly, we can see the same story here. We're fighting around this 46,317 resistance, which we really need to hold. I mean, that candle's clearly broken that on this 4 hourly candle, given the drop we had an hour ago. And that's what's worrying here. We really need to regain this candle and keep this 46,000 mark. Otherwise, it's going to become a bit difficult for Bitcoin. Now, don't want to be the bearer of just bad news. So looking at the daily, what we can see on the daily chart, however, is technically from a technical basis, on technical analysis, we've not broken. We're still in a bullish uptrend. So you can see we came up in this channel here. We came out. We were almost trying to recover back into this, the bottom of this trend line here. And that's when the crash happened, right? So that's where that massive candle appeared, and we crashed down. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit more there. And then we crashed down, but you can see we're still holding this ribbon. And if we go out on the weekly, you can see we're clearly still bullish on a weekly trend. Okay, so if we come back onto the weekly, we're still bullish. We've bounced off of that EMA. You can see exactly where we fell to the 42,000 level was exactly the start of that EMA ribbon there. So what we need from Bitcoin over the next few hours, and hopefully the weekend can be a bit of a catalyst for this. We saw over the last few months, Bitcoin's been having weak intra weeks, and then on the weekends, it's really been moving. And perhaps we can be due for that little pump again over the weekend. Now, we can see here this hourly CAD was trying to recover from the previous hour, trying to hold on to the 45,000 mark. If we don't, I have to bring to your attention the downside of 43,000. But if we can keep 45 and 46,000, we can head higher and try to reclaim the 47 yellow mark there, which we worked so hard to reclaim before. We zoom back out. You remember we worked really hard to reclaim this 47,850 again. We went up to 50,000. We tried it 3 times. We got through up to 52, and it's just dropped all the way back down, and all that momentum's been undone. So I can see why a lot of Bitcoin investors are upset. I am too. It has taken a lot of our momentum going into a power Q3 and Q4 away from us, but it's not the end. We just have to be patient. We have to let it build back up again. Nothing has fundamentally changed. These are the games that institutions play in order to pick up their position, and we just need to be calm and understand that fact. Let's switch over to Ethereum, where we'll see a similar story. It's pretty much an identical chart. We had the crash, tried to recover, and now we've just lost that 3,329 level, and we're just sitting below it after the last hour crash we just had there. So same story as Bitcoin. It needs to hold this level in order to head higher. And if it goes a bit lower, we're going to be struggling, and there's not massive levels of support beneath the beneath this kind of 3,000 level here. So you've got a support there at 3,150. And then you can argue you've got another support there at the 3,000 level mark. But Ethereum won't want to be losing these support lines really so easily. We really need to be holding these lines with a bit more strong hands. That's what we want to see. Let's take a look at ADA. ADA's been getting hammered as well. So you can see we had a really strong run up to $3.10, and now we're sitting back at $2.36. I mean, not financial advice, but this is a great opportunity to buy. These people FOMOing in here, the number of people that were talking about Cardano and chasing it and buying it at these peaks here, How about that? I mean, you've just had a 6% down at some point just an hour ago. Is 10% down Cardano on the day. And that's a good flash sale for Cardano, because again, nothing fundamentally has changed. Exact same chart pattern, a manipulation from Bitcoin, come back up, fallen back down again, leverage positions getting liquidated, and that happens time and time again with crypto. But we need to understand and invest based on fundamentals, and fundamentally nothing has changed here. Just hoping that we can keep the 225 level for Cardano. Now, my concern with Cardano is it rose really quickly. Any coin which grows really quickly, you have to be scared equally on the way back down. It can fall just as quick because it's not building support levels as it goes up, right? Think about if you're scaling a skyscraper, you want to leave a piece of scaffolding below you, and as you climb it higher, put another piece of scaffolding. And when you get coins which just ramp up, like Solana is another good example, we need to be careful because the downtrend can be equally as ferocious. You can see here Solana really was overreaching, high RSI levels, getting up to 216 level here, and now we're all the way back down to a low just recently of 167. You could have bought it out in the last hour. So again, those of you who are FOMOing into Solana, start looking at your entries now. This is what the institutions do. They've shaken the market up for you. They know that inexperienced investors panic and sell, and they very rarely buy. And that's why if you want to be an experienced investor, you need to start conditioning yourself to buying when red, right? When red, you buy. When green, that's when you should be looking to sell. You don't be buying on these reds here. I mean, when it's really ramping up here and high levels of RSI, that's not where you want to be getting into these positions. But now when it's falling, it's a good time to think about entering. Okay, again, you can see on the hourly here, Solana has flipped the EMA over the last couple of hours. So even though it stood strong, where Ethereum, Cardano, and Bitcoin went below its EMA ribbon, Solana was one of those that was resisting the pressure, but it has given in now. And on the hourly chart, we are now bearish, but we're still holding on the 4-hourly chart. So on the 4-hourly chart, we're still strong. We've had a little bounce off of the middle ribbon here, and you're hoping this can bounce Solana back up and gain some momentum and strength again. Just wanted to spend some time on Algorand as well. A very similar pattern on the 4-hourly chart. Didn't even penetrate the ribbon at all, really. Just bounced off the peak of the ribbon here, which is really powerful, showing some good strength in the times of even Bitcoin crashing. Let's take a look at the hourly on Algo as well. Yep, similar to Solana, it has flipped bearish technically on the EMA ribbon. But hoping that could bounce back again. And it's all going to depend on Bitcoin ultimately and how Bitcoin fares on that. Other coins you want to be looking out for is obviously keep an eye on DOT, keep an eye on Link, Matic. Luna's another good one. I'm going to post a video on Algorand explaining the importance of level 1 platforms now. So not financial advice, but if you can find some good deals on some solid play level 1 platforms and get a good cost basis with a good entry, that would be something that you should be inclined to do. We can see from the adoption of Ethereum that the level 1 chains are going to become more and more in demand. DApp builders are going to be looking for a variety of different level 1 platforms with bridges, with cross-chain interoperability for them to build their platforms. And consumers are demanding these things. They're demanding NFTs, they're demanding gaming, they're demanding DeFi. And we need to make sure the layer 1 chains are keeping up with the transactions per second, the security, the scalability, and obviously the decentralization as well. So please do go check out that video when it comes out. But for now, don't be too concerned with Bitcoin. Don't forget, it wasn't long ago we were at $28,000 where they played that game on a bigger scale. The institutions have just played that game again, just so they can keep accumulating, keep the price suppressed, so they can build out their positions because they're not ready to go to the moon yet. And so they want to build out their positions, and that's what we should be thinking about doing as well. So thank you guys for watching. Bitcoin's going to be just fine. Feel free to build out your cost positions and dollar cost average. Don't FOMO in when everything's all rosy and glorious and everything's green and up 10% a day. Now's the time to be really building your conviction in the plays you believe in and finding really smart entry points when others are fearful. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.